Welcome to Brooklyn Center High School for Tri-Metro Conference Boys Basketball. A Monday night battle here, second meeting of the season between the St. Anthony Huskies and the Brooklyn Center Centaurs. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ariel McDonald and Allie Mosley. And tough year for Brooklyn Center in a lot of ways, 0-10, but Andre Gilbert there taking over as head coach this year. He said, we're still upbeat. We've played a lot of good teams. He said the guys are still working, and that's the most you can ask, to try and get better, and each day as they go. Obviously, it's a different kind of year with COVID, so they haven't as much time together, but they're trying to piece it together, and they were pretty competitive with the St. Anthony team the first time around.
And speaking with Coach Gilbert this summer, he was talking about taking the job, and a lot of people said, this isn't a job that you want to take, and he said, there's got to be a point in time where you start somewhere, so he took upon the challenge of coming here to Brooklyn Center and really trying to put something together, and slowly, he's going to take some losses, but he feels like in taking these losses, if he puts the pieces together and does it according to the process and taking his time, that he can make a competitive team.
First time around, BC was up by a point at halftime, in fact. Ended up losing it by 10, as we saw there. And a game with a lot of offense, and BC would like to get up and down and run and score. And St. Anthony, they're certainly a team that's, played a little bit better than BC overall, but it's certainly also a game where both teams feel like they have a shot in this one, too.
In that first matchup that they had, Coach Gilbert spoke about the idea that he's limited with the number of players he has. And so if he finds himself in an opportunity where he gets down, it's very difficult to come back. And so even though they had a 1-point lead at halftime, all of a sudden they started trailing late and they couldn't get back into the game. So he said that's been the Achilles heel of his team, because they promote a lot of energy and create a lot of energy and pace in the first half, but it's difficult to finish in the second half.
Let's talk about key players in tonight's game, starting with St. Anthony, and a junior inside player. They've got Gani Stevens is averaging about 11.5 a game. They've got a couple of decent-sized post players, and Coach Satterley said we generally try to take advantage of them. Doesn't mean they have to shoot, but we want to look inside out at least and build from there.
With the size advantage that they have over the Centaurs, that's something that they really should look at. Two big post players and 6'7", 6'8", so it should be something that they use, especially playing here on the road against the Centaurs.
And for Brooklyn Center, they've got a couple of guys that have done very well this year. Quay Douglas, I don't care what level you're at, when you're scoring just about 27 a game, you're doing something right. He's going to be fun to watch.
Quay Douglas, been seeing him since his fourth grade, since he's been in the fourth grade, started in the Minneapolis Fab AAU program, and he's just been a steadily growing as you see him and scoring all of these kind of points. Tremendous player. Could play on any 4A team throughout the state, but chose to stay here where he could be a big fish in a small pond.
We'll take a quick timeout and come back with the start of tonight's game at St. Anthony and Brooklyn Center boys basketball here on CCX.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Here we go, Luke Omot jumping it up for St. Anthony against Christopher Taylor, and the Huskies will get the first possession of the game, a drive to the hoop at the bottom of the backboard there. Now back out to Stevens, and he'll go back to the corner with it. Caden Hauser shooting it up, no good. Another offensive board, though, for St. Anthony, as they'll get 3 cracks at it on this first trip down the floor.
Coach Gilbert talked about rebounding being something that they had to really focus on if they wanted to stay in this game early.
Nathan Lucas lost it on the way up, but they get it back.
Brooklyn Center playing a matchup 2-3 zone. With smaller players on that back line, they really can get out to those corners and contest shots. But like we said at the top of the broadcast, that rebounding is going to be something that they have to deal with.
Luke Omat put it on the floor and turned it over, so here come the Centaurs. And that is up and good for three. Ben Wahey, the only senior on this team and a good football player for BC as well. 3-0 Centaur lead.
See the Centaurs trapping in that corner. And Jay, maybe the spectators or the fans watching on TV can't notice. This is a tight gym. And when you play that matchup 2-3 zone and you get that ball in the corner, the court shrinks on you immediately. So St. Anthony, they have to stay conscious of that because they don't want to get trapped.
Douglas brings it back out top. He'll get the return pass here. Douglas driving down the lane, but missed with the left hand, and Stevens rebounds. St. Anthony without Max Kochman, who was their leading scorer and assist leader. He has a hand injury out for the year. So obviously that hurts their cause a little bit, not only tonight, but for the rest of the games they have.
And unfortunate for that young man with this COVID season. You want every game you can get.
Foul on the drive as Stevens put it on the court and was bumped there. It's going to be Wahey picking it up. There's a look at Coach Satterley. Second year with their program. He's coached in Connecticut and Arizona. I said, where do you come from, though? Pelican Rapids, Minnesota. He's kind of come full circle back to my home state here. And in his second year with their team. Back across, Hauser knocking down an open three. St. Anthony on the board, and we are even up at 3 apiece.
Centaurs looking like they're going to match up in a 3-2 zone. Try to force the Centaurs to chuck it from the outside so they can secure that rebound.
And halfway down, but out for Wahey there. And St. Anthony will bring it back up court. Hauser, and that pass knocked free as Warren Kinney got his hand on it. Now it's Wahey to the glass, and he scores. He has all 5 BC points.
That's how BC is going to win this game. They got to get in those passing lanes, force St. Anthony to pass around the perimeter, and look for some steal opportunities and get some layups.
Open look from the right wing, but that's an air ball for Lucas, and now Wahey will push it back the other way. Drops the pass off. Oh, and Omat with a nice swat there as he got Douglas from the side there, and Omat did a nice job of not really hammering down. He just kind of made a nice block.
Right, he ran the floor, stayed vertical, and if you can get caught slipping with Quay Douglas, he will dunk on you.
Around the horn it comes now to Douglas. Nice passing back over to White on the baseline, and that is a good for 3 more. So 8-3 lead now for Brooklyn Center. Again, looking for their first win of the season. Down low, nice high-low, and Stevens lays it in. Omat the assist.
That's the key for St. Anthony, big-to-big passing. If they can get the ball into that elbow at the high post, look for the big man diving low post. Should work out for them and give them some easy baskets throughout this game.
Kinney giving it up baseline, and the layup is good there for Taylor. And the Centaurs have looked pretty sharp offensively so far, leading at 10-5.
Centaurs look like they're jumping into a man-to-man.
Down low again to Stevens, bumps off the defender, won't go. Omat tipped it loose, and the Huskies will get it back. And that'll be a foul on Wahey, and unfortunately for BC, that's his second. Saw an opportunity for the steal, but bumped into the pass receiver there.
Nobody in any foul trouble, so you want your players being frisky out there, looking to get some steals early.
Stevens kicks it back out. Now it's Rodkowicz shooting it up short. Omat an offensive rebound. Hauser will let it fly. And that time rebounded by Douglas for the Centaurs. So we'll keep an eye on Wahey with those 2 early fouls for the Centaurs. They don't have a lot of depth, and they don't want to have to play much without him out there. And there's a turnover as he left his feet to pass that one and threw it back and out of play.
Coach Gilbert says throughout this season what they've really been working on is limiting their turnovers. He realizes he has guards and they have to play small ball. He's trying to cut down on the turnovers to give them some more possession to score.
Omat turns and faces and hits a long two. So that's a good weapon at the high post. We saw him dump down to the other post, but he also could turn and face and shoot.
When you get a big who can step out on the perimeter and knock down perimeter shots, that opens it up for all guards.
Oh, an illegal screen call there against the Centaurs. That'll go against Michael White as he tried to free up the dribbler there and instead got kind of, you see, coming in and kind of sliding along and got his leg in there, hip in there. Stevens, a little jump hook, and that's good.
You know, I just realized, Jay, Stevens is a lefty. He's going to be a tough matchup inside. Lefties are always difficult to guard as a guard, so I can't even imagine how difficult it is to defend him in the post.
Huskies back to within one now, BC 10-9. Here's Wayhe down the lane, drops it back out. And that three won't go as Stevens snares the rebound for the Huskies. Hauser, almost missed Stevens down low. He got it to him, but a little late, and then he fell off balance and missed with the right hand. That was a missed opportunity. If he got it right away, that would have been a layup. Wayhe through traffic and just short, and Omat rebounds.
That's smart by Leahy, just really attacking that paint. You don't want to just settle for perimeter shots. Make those big men defend the paint.
Hauser the miss there. Here's Wayhe back out, and the return comes to him. He's going to shoot that one up from the corner, and it's short. Lucas running it back the other way for St. Anthony. Douglas had a block. Omat for three, too strong there, and rebound corralled by Kinney. Here's Wayhe. Oops, threw that one back toward the bench. Let's go over now to the third member of our crew, Allie Mosley.
Yeah, guys, you know, it's been a tough season for Brooklyn Center at being 0-10. And Coach said, you know what, we're having fun. You know, we don't have a win yet, but we are still having fun. And one of those reasons that, you know, they haven't gotten those wins yet is because they've been outscored by their opponents 322 points through just 10 games. So I asked Coach, what's going on with the defense? And he said, you know, it's just our style of play. We find ourselves down 15 at half, and then by mid-second half, it's running time, and then the points just start to add up and collect. So they're trying to make sure that doesn't happen here tonight. They want to keep the gap small. Last time they played 3 weeks ago, St. Anthony was up by 1 point at half. So Brooklyn Center's trying to make sure that doesn't happen again. They know they need to slow the game down and stop 34.
And that's going to be a reach-in foul there against Taylor. He thought he had a lot of ball, but had a little bit of arm too, so foul call going against Brooklyn Center. That's their fourth team foul. You see, initially he certainly had the basketball, but then kind of got some arm in there as well. Return pass coming there, and they'll kick it back out and restart. Number 13, Matthew Carpenter, in now for St. Anthony. They're not super deep either, but a little bit more so than BC, and there's a foul as Taylor will be called for his second, kind of coming through the post player to try to get to that one.
No, St. Anthony, they have players with size, and it helps them out a lot, even when they're coming from the bench. Really, really disciplined, and they're very, very fundamental. So even when players are coming from the bench, they don't really have a drop-off.
Open look from the corner is good for Rodkowicz there for St. Anthony. So they go in front now 12-10. Here's Kinney. Drops it off. Taylor's jumper bouncing around and out. Huskies have done a pretty good job on the defensive boards, not allowing Brooklyn Center a lot of second opportunities. And that one's short, but there's Hauser running it down.
And there's another second opportunity from St. Anthony to maybe look for an easy three-point shot.
Left wing, Carpenter, that's in and out. And now we'll get a foul on the Huskies, their first foul. Lucas trying to get that rebound, got some arm there. So you see the fouls in favor of the visitors so far, 5 against BC and 1 against St. Anthony. Number 3 there, Michael Albertson, is in the lineup too for Brooklyn Center. And I think, you know, they probably, in an ideal situation, would be looking to run even a little more and maybe press some, but just when they're, you know, thin in numbers, I don't think they can afford to do that because it would just tire them out. They just don't have the depth to do that.
Right, after 10 games, you've already done a little check, so you kind of understand where your team is at. So, like Ali was saying, Coach Gilbert wants the controlled tempo, and so we see, got the foul call?
It looks like it'll be Omot picking it up as Kinney went to the hoop that time.
But, you know, next couple possessions, Centaurs maybe need to move the ball around a little bit, slow the tempo down, because St. Anthony obviously has now picked up the pace, found the rhythm of the game. So now Centaurs maybe want to slow it down, work this zone a little bit, and try to catch one of maybe St. Anthony players unconcentrated and hopefully get an easier shot.
Kinney missing on the free throw here. One more coming. And he gets the second one to go, so his first point. And a little slow to get up. It looks like he's all right there. Ramal Tar, number 32. Wayhe will come back in with those 2 fouls for the Centaurs. And looks like Tar is going to come out after he's banged up a little bit there. 1 point lead here for St. Anthony. Into the Huskies lineup now is Rafi Abraham, number 21. He gets the pass right here and travel. They have started to kind of settle on shots a little bit too. They're moving it around and they're getting a few open looks, but then some of those, what I call in between, you know, am I open, sort of, yep, but not all the way, maybe?
They need to settle and really look for the big man. Just be patient because something's going to open up. Because Brooklyn Center, they're really trying to get in the passing lanes on the perimeter and force steals. So if the Huskies are a little bit more patient, look down low, they'll get some good looks down low. Saved
in, but then stolen away by Rodkowicz. Rodkowicz drops the pass off, and then a nice block. Taylor got it out of there, and then the pass ahead, and we'll get a foul and free throws upcoming here for Douglas.
Yeah, Quay Douglas very fortunate there to get that foul call because the play happened right in front of us. Just looked like their feet got tripped up, and as a result, he's at the free throw line.
Carpenter will pick that one up. Yeah, it did look like Carpenter kind of went mostly straight up there, but I could see why it looked like a foul there too. Douglas missing the free throw. By the way, number 4, Abdul Wadi is into the game too for St. Anthony, and he had that shot blocked at the other end. So Douglas getting his first point right there again. He comes in averaging just under 27 per night. So obviously a little bit of a slow start for him. They, second time around, know what to expect a little bit from him maybe too. Omot dribbling through, and he will be fouled.
That's a good play by Omot, attacking the rim, and he's an inside player. So that's what we talked about, the Huskies really kind of spreading the ball around. The perimeter players have gotten some opportunities to make some open three-point shots. Now it's time to get it dumped back inside and let these big men do some work for you.
Second foul on White. So White, Taylor, and Wayhe all have 2 fouls for Brooklyn Center. The team number isn't, you know, ridiculously high, but each of those 3 guys have 2. And again, they're a team that doesn't have a whole lot of experienced subs to go to either.
And Jay, they're in zone, so, you know, no excuse to get in foul trouble when you play in zone.
Here's Wayhe, lost it on the way in, but recovered there nicely by Taylor. Albertson shooting up a long one, no good, but a nice offensive board. There is Douglas putting it back.
Versatile player, even though he's a smaller player and plays on the perimeter. He's able to rebound and get easy pass, get second chance baskets inside.
And we'll get a foul on that pass out there as Carpenter was caught way underneath and was fouled. I think it's going to be on Douglas, and so they're now in the bonus. St. Anthony will be shooting 1-and-1 for the next couple, and then 2 shots from that. So they're hoping to take advantage of that as, again, the fouls kind of piling up a little bit.
And if you're Brooklyn Center, you're saying they're in the bonus and we have some foul issues. Hey, guys, let's play without our hands.
That one was wide left and rebounded by Taylor. So the Huskies lead it by 1. Here comes Douglas. A little hesitation dribble, and let's see. Got a push. Not going to count the basket. The foul was on the drive. So Brooklyn Center will get it inbound on the baseline. Carpenter picks up the foul, his second, and they'll sub him out as Lucas comes back in. Albertson, an air ball from the corner. Huskies looking to run it out. Reverse layup would not drop that time. They'll get another crack, and Omot is fouled, and Brooklyn Center struggling now to stay out of foul situations.
You know, part of that is they might have to give up trying to get offensive rebounds and sprint back on defense so they can eliminate some of these transition points. Sometimes what happens with players, they want to go to the offensive rebound and be aggressive and trying to get second chance opportunities, but you give up something in the transition, and I think that's been a part of the reasoning why they've had a couple of fouls.
White checks out because that was his third foul, so Tar, who got a little bit banged up earlier, comes back in. Omot goes 1 for 2 at the line this time. 16-14 lead for St. Anthony. Brooklyn Center, the good news is they're right there, 2 points down. The bad news is fouls are starting to mount up, and Coach Gilbert's now going to call a timeout and probably address that a little bit of some of the things that you were pointing out.
And, you know, I'm sure he has in the back of his mind the second half, and normally under normal circumstances, he's always worried about, do we have enough to finish games? And he's hanging in here right now, but with these fouls early, let's say in this first half, that's going to be a bit of a concern for him in the second half as they move forward.
I think giving up some of the offensive rebounds they've given up too have led to these fouls as well. And so you know, obviously they're not a super big team, but you really want to kind of emphasize that blocking out. You know, a good hard block out, you can still rebound even if you're a little bit smaller.
But you know, Jay, the hardest thing to do is block out in zone, and that's the one thing that we coaches get so upset. You work all the week preparing for the game, you're going through your sets, and you got your zone defense set, and the one thing that you want is everybody find a man to block out. But so far in this first half, a little unfortunate on some possessions, but still just 2 points down. So let's see if they can correct some things and finish this half off strong.
See, Stevens had a little bit of a rest, and he's back in there for St. Anthony as Wayhe will bring it up court.
Early on in the game, St. Anthony started both big, so it looks like the coaches made the adjustment that he's going to go a little bit smaller, leave a big 5 in there, but leave a mobile, agile 4 to really create some defensive pressure. And here they are in man looking to trap.
Wayhe zipping it over to the corner, and then he gets the return pass. Douglas comes out to get it. Wayhe attacking, but then wasn't sure where he wanted to go with that one, so they'll have to kind of regroup and go again. Albertson dropping it off to Taylor. A long possession, it kind of feels like some team or the other will win the possession. Oh, in and out for Douglas, and the Huskies board it and go. Trailer is Stevens, and the layup is good. Nice feed from Lucas.
Now that's what hurts you if you're the Centaurs. You work them on offense, you work them for about 45 seconds to a minute, and then you give up a layup on the other end. Just really takes the wind out of your sail.
Good decision by Lucas. At first I thought he was going to force it into traffic and maybe, not make a great play, but then he stopped and kind of waited for the trailer, and it really timed out perfectly. Inside they go again, Stevens, and that time a little off balance and missed it. However, the rebound bounces around and Abraham tracks it down for the Huskies.
You know, Jay, I've counted 6 offensive rebounds for second chance points, which is about 12 to 14 points. They only have 20. So if you're Coach Gilbert, you're like, guys, if we can control the rebound and limit them to 1 shot, we might be ahead in this game.
Nice move there by Lucas. And all 5 starters have now scored for St. Anthony. That'll be a foul against Waddy on the drive there, trying his best to stay with Wayhe there. And here's another look at that little scoop layup here. Nice finish.
Yeah, you see Taylor give up on the play a little bit, going for the block instead of getting his body in front and maybe just changing that shot. But Brooklyn Center, they're hanging in there 6 minutes, 6 points down. They just have to do a better job on the defensive end in securing that rebound.
Wayhe's free throw is good. He has 6 points now. BC within 5 as Kinney will check back in. Second one here from Wayhe is good as well, so he's had a good night with 7 early points. Brooklyn Center back to within 4 now at 20 to 16. Shoveled back out to Abraham in the corner, but that one not close. And it's going to be out of bounds off BC there as Tar couldn't pull it in.
Tar had it in all 2 hands. Coach Gilbert like, come on, man, catch it, secure it, let's go.
I'm telling you though, air balls fool you. They're harder to rebound than when you're expecting it to hit the rim.
Yes, they do.
Back across now to Hauser. Abraham will shoot it up again, this time good for 3. He didn't like the corner so well, but on the wing he was money.
And you know, for this generation of basketball player, when they see those 3s go in, it just dejects them so much. Let's see if the Centaurs can just remain patient and keep attacking.
Wayhe on the drive was fouled. I think it'll be on Abraham.
So the Huskies have switched to man-to-man. So now the Centaurs have an opportunity to get in those dribble drive lanes. As we see Leahy taking it to the basket, Stevens protecting that rim. They're going to look for some kicks.
Foul call there was on Waddy, not on Abraham. So his second. 7-point lead. Down to the corner, drive won't go. Omot the rebound, and the reverse is good.
Another second chance point there. Centaurs got to do a better job there.
The lead is 9 now for St. Anthony as we approach 5 to go here in this first half. Taylor from the top, no good. And long rebound goes to Lucas. Lucas handing it over to Stevens, and he was fouled. That's going to be on Wayhe, and that'll be his 3rd foul. It was kind of an excuse me foul. He just sort of got in the way, and Stevens fell into him, but still a foul.
Douglas was late trailing on that defensive transition, and as a result, his man took it to the basket, and he forced Wayhe to commit a foul.
Stevens missing on the free throw there. But 3rd foul on Ben Wayhe, joins White in having 3. Interesting that Stevens shoots free throws right-handed, even though he seemed to be shooting all of his shots from the floor left-handed. Misses a pair, so the lead stays at 9. Brooklyn Center could really use a bucket here. They started out decent offensively, but have gone cold here of late. Taylor handing it back over to Kinney. Albertson nearly turned it over, gets it back. Kinney close to a 5 count there, but then he got some action going toward the hoop. Here's Taylor, nice fake, up move, and he scores.
Good action there. Taylor using that pump fake and that dribble drive and then another pump fake. You don't see that too often. You know, youth players using those pump fakes to create opportunities to score.
No good there. Stevens, I think, will be called coming over the back and through the block out there a little bit. Another look at that last hoop, and it was a nice move, or two nice moves.
Over both big men, too, so good finish for Taylor. Need to see some more of that. You know, if they can get Taylor into a situation where maybe he's dribble driving, Stevens, and even Oldmont, they may find some opportunities to get them in foul trouble.
Douglas at the line. That was the 7th team foul on St. Anthony, so now BC into the bonus, but missed. And as they have struggled a little bit at the line here tonight, 3 for 6. Hauser from the corner, and that's good for 3. His second 3 of the night.
Here we are, it's 10 points. Centaurs with 3 minutes and 25 seconds till half, just trying to hang in there and keep this game close.
Kinney giving it up to Douglas. Kind of a clear out here, but nice help defense is coming over. Douglas a step back 3, no good, and Stevens the board. Baseline drive and then thrown away. Nearly taken back, but here comes Douglas to the hole. Layup is good.
Douglas having to work so hard just to score. Huskies all over the place. Every time he catches the ball on the floor, they're looking to dig, send a player to dig in on him and maybe deflect his dribble.
Omot down low to Stevens. High-low to perfection right there.
Love to see that high-low action, big-to-big passing.
Back to a 10-point lead now for the Huskies here, 30-20. And Stevens jumping out into the passing lane, and their bench likes that.
Hey, you love to see the big fella get in the passing lane. If you got a center, power forwards who are looking to get in those passing lanes, just makes it so much easier for the guards to defend.
Timeout taken here by Brooklyn Center as we get another look at the nice little high-low. Omot just turned and looked, and that one made it look easy there. And it isn't really the defender down low's fault there as much as you got to put a little better pressure on the passer.
Well, what happens is, like all coaches, you want to get that ball to the middle of the zone, because once it gets to the middle of the zone, it just creates panic where players have to locate players in their area. And then if all of a sudden, like you saw Stevens, he cuts back door, it's a layup every time. Just need players to be patient enough and to allow that to come where you can see it. And when you can get it there to the high post, it's a layup every time.
These teams, of course, in the Tri-Metro Conference, and it's gone through a lot of changes over the years in terms of who's in it. But right now, boys basketball this season, this is a good league. Richfield, Columbia Heights, De La Salle, they can play with anybody. Those teams at the top, and even some through the middle and toward the bottom are, you know, pretty decent teams. So it's one of the things where the schedule has been primarily limited to conference games, which probably makes Brooklyn Center's record look a little worse than it might in a normal year, just because they've had to play so many good teams right away like this when they haven't had a lot of time to gel with their new staff and all that. But Douglas the catch, and he was held as Lucas got his hands into him a little too much, and it will be free throw time here for Quay Douglas.
Quay Douglas, just really good stop and go. I mean, explosive player. He dribble drive baseline. He just stopped right on the dime and just jumped right over his defender.
Douglas hits the free throw here as he's started to warm up a little bit. 6 points, obviously behind his normal pace of just about 27 a game, but still time to get that going.
Every time he catches the ball on the perimeter, he's looking for an angle to drive, and when he discovers it, the defensive team uses a rotation and a help defender comes in there, just creates that indecision that just keeps you off balance.
Douglas making a pair this time, so the lead is 8 now for St. Anthony as we approach 2 minutes to go in this opening half. Hauser will take that three in and out. Tip try for Omot wouldn't go, but he gets it back. And again, BC has just had a lot of trouble giving up offensive boards. Oh. There's another as Omot gets the putback off the miss from Abraham.
You know, all their three-point shots for the Huskies, they take them, you know, with confidence because they understand if I miss, my teammate's going to pick me up and put it back in the basket. So Centaurs, if I'm Coach Gilbert, I immediately make the adjustment that the ball does not go to the high post because as soon as it gets there in Stevens' hands or even Omot, it's a bucket.
And there's a three for Albertson, first bench points of the night for BC. That was big, pulls them within 7.
What does Shaquille O'Neal always say? You need the help of others. So that's a good sign for BC.
There's Hauser with a floater as he put it on the floor down the baseline and scores. So St. Anthony back up by 9. Albertson tried to go to Douglas. It got tipped all the way over to Taylor. Douglas will shoot it up short on that one. And looked like it could have been a travel there. Here's Abraham shooting, spins out, and Taylor the rebound for Brooklyn Center. So that time they limit him to 1 shot.
The Huskies very fortunate to get away with that.
Douglas kicking it down toward the corner. Taylor will shoot it, no. Abraham the rebound. About a half minute to go. Looks like they want to hold for 1 shot here. The lead right now at 9. Omot, you see, not even looking at the hoop. Hauser was too good to pass up, and he takes that three. I don't know if his bench wanted him to, but when he was that wide open, he said, I can't pass this up.
It was almost like BC said, oh, they're going to hold it to the end, and, you know, they just took what the defense gave them and made an open bucket.
Douglas, an air ball there as he tried to hurry one up late in the half, so we get to halftime, and St. Anthony closing it pretty strong as they get that hoop and take a 37-25 lead. Even though they didn't end up holding for 1, I think Coach will probably forgive the sophomore Hauser when he had that open of a look and he was able to knock it down. If you make it, they forget about that a little bit, right?
Absolutely. That's one of those, the coach goes, no, 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 and then he goes, yes, 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 yes. So very fortunate, but, you know, the Huskies been playing good basketball. They've had balance going inside and out. So let's see what Coach Gilbert has to say.
You know, we talked about how tempo would be very important in this game. What did you see in that first half and what you guys were able to establish?
Well, we was able to establish a little tempo at the beginning of the half, and then at the end of the half, we kind of let it get away with us shooting threes. So we're going to have to take better shot selection and slow the ball down a little bit.
How do you guys adjust your second half game plan when you do have some players in a little bit of foul trouble?
Well, I don't have that many substitutions, so we're going to have to just lay back and we have to just play smart basketball, keep our hands to ourselves, and then hopefully we won't pick up that many fouls in the second half.
You guys have shown moments of being able to close the gap. What are you going to go tell your team to come out, get fired up, and take this win at home?
Yeah, well, we're going to play some defense. We got to play a little bit better defense, and then we got to make better shot selections. So once we get that, it's a young team, and we learn to slow the ball down a little bit and get better shots at the basket, then we won't lose the close leads and stuff like that.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you. We're right to it.
Thanks, Coach Gilbert. Thanks, Allie. We will take a timeout. 37-25 St. Anthony at halftime. More Tri-Metro basketball up next here on CCX.
I don't think we're free in this country. For 100 years, you saw black people menaced and targeted and lynched and beaten and brutalized. I think we're burdened by this history. More people have to be willing to do that uncomfortable, inconvenient thing that justice requires for things to get better. Truth can inspire change. Learn more at EJI.org.
COVID-19 has hit our community real hard.
We're dying from coronavirus at almost double the national rate.
If we come together, We have the power to save what matters to us, our Black lives.
There's power in protecting your loved ones.
There's power in wearing a mask and social distancing.
There's power in knowing the facts and using your voice.
Let's fight COVID-19. Visit bethepowerofus.org.
Welcome back here to Brooklyn Center. 37-25, St. Anthony leading the Centaurs here at halftime as we check out some first half highlights from tonight's contest. Very competitive first half. It kind of got away a little bit later for BC, but there's a good start for Wayhe as he knocks down a three-pointer there, and then a little spin dribble frees him up for a drive to the hoop as he had a good first half, although a little bit of foul trouble to deal with as well. Nice drive here. Taylor, the nice up fake, and then turns and scores it for the Centaurs, kind of providing a third weapon for them. But the high-low really effective for the Huskies. Omat into Stevens a couple of different times. And here's another as they have worked that well and also hit the offensive glass pretty well. And gotten some big threes. Caden Hauser, this time actually not a three, but the drive to the baseline, and then that was the late one when they were holding for one, but he was so wide open, he said, I got to take this. And Hauser, a little bit of a surprise maybe to lead them with 11. Omat has 9 and Stevens 8. Douglas, slow start, but now up to 7, along with Wayhe. Taylor has 4. And again, fouls, a bit of an issue for Brooklyn Center. We'll take a quick timeout, come back with more here from Brooklyn Center High School on CCX.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Welcome back. Let's go over now to Allie with Coach Satterley.
Coach, a few weeks ago, you guys were down by 1 at half when you played Brooklyn Center. Now you're up by 12. What did you see in that first half that you really liked?
I love the defensive effort. Guys are bringing energy. They're playing hard. We're boxing out. We're limiting second chance points. So I think those are some of the keys for us.
What are some adjustments that you want to see be made in the second half so that you take this 12-point lead and extend it to a big victory?
I think a big piece for us is keep moving the ball. We've had some really good looks. We've got to knock those looks down. And if we do that, we'll extend our lead.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach Satterley, and thanks, Allie, as kind of saw a lot of what he would like to see in that first half. All coaches, you never say we're totally satisfied, obviously, but I think they did a pretty good facsimile of what they wanted to do coming in.
Yeah, no, he mentioned it, the rebounding part and not giving you second chance points. When you're playing on the road and you had a particularly close game the first time, you want to make sure going on the road that you secure that. He's using that size, and as a result, many of the players, even players like Hauser, he's gotten 11 points and leads their team, but it's that Stevens, Omat combination, that high-low, that's really just opening up things for their shooters.
Yeah, Hauser comes in averaging 5, and he already has 11. And I thought you made a really good point right before the half, that when you think about the offensive rebounds, how many St. Anthony had, how few Brooklyn Center had, that as much as anything is the difference in this game. I mean, if that was evened out, this game would be a whole lot closer than it is right now.
I mean, Jay, you go after the game and you do your analytics as a coach, and then you realize just how many second chance points you give up. You look at your point total and you go, guys, if we can just eliminate this, we're in this game.
Kinney giving it to Wayhe here as we begin this second half. See, early on, most of the fouls were going against BC, but that definitely, evened itself up as the half went on.
So Coach Satterley went back to his big lineup early on just to try to really dig into this lead.
And Douglas had it blocked by Hauser. He just kind of stayed with it and stayed on that right hand. Omat will let it fly from the corner, and the big guy can knock down a 3 as well. He's played a nice game.
This is basketball today. Stretch 5, stretch 4s. every player on the court having the ability to be a triple threat, whether it's for a drive, whether it's for dribbling, or whether it's shooting a ball from the perimeter.
Biggest lead of the night, early second half. Centaurs want to get something going, and there's a nice pull-up from Douglas. And he wanted to, get a little bit going early. Here's a nice floater, Lucas, as he got a little bit of a bump. Good job, though, to not foul there, but he still made a tough hoop. Douglas will give it up to White. That one's way too long, but a push and an obvious one on Lucas. That'll be his third, and it was kind of just the way it developed. It was real easy to see that, hey, he's got his hands in his lower back pushing there. So Lucas will check out. He is really the only one. A couple of bench players actually picked up two, but of the starters, he's the only one that is in a little bit of foul trouble there. And pretty obvious one is he got the shove in the back.
Hey, he's a good guy. He's going to do it all for you. Knock down shots from the perimeter. Be physical with the opponent. And that's his job, clean up all the mess.
I think it might hurt them a little bit defensively, too, because he seemed like a pretty good defender against guards. Nice floater there by Wayhe. So BC back to within 13 as they get a couple of hoops in a row. Inside, Stevens with the jump hook, no good. And Brooklyn Center trying to make a little run here and get back into it. Kinney will shoot up that three, but no good. Rebounded, though, by Taylor. Wayhe will kick it back out, and then he brings it back out to restart. Kinney to the top as they get the floor balanced here.
It's a big possession for BC right here. If they can get a score right here, might create some energy. But here's a turnover. Coach Gilbert talking about turnovers. It's not what they want to do being down 13.
Not a very good pass, and Hauser took advantage to get the steal. Omat down low. Stevens lays it in. A great ball rotation right there. It wasn't too bad a D. There was not a lot of room to get that ball in, but they did it.
Jay, you get the feeling they actually practice that? Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it works, and they do it really effectively. So that's something that they need to hold on to, because every coach is looking for big to bigs who can really play together, and it just frees up your guards to just be whatever kind of player they want to be.
Back to a 15-point lead. Douglas in traffic, tried to flip that one up. He went down, but there's a rebound by Taylor back into Douglas. And we'll fade away, count it. Douglas will score it, and he was bumped by Omat. Looked like Omat was, for the most part, was in good position, but then he kind of does he come out at him a little bit there, just sort of riding into him.
Ooh, that's good D. I mean, if I'm a coach, I'm arguing that call too. That's good D. He was vertical, never swung down. But just once again, Quay Douglas showing that athleticism, being able to finish.
Couldn't get the free throw to go, but a nice hoop there for Douglas. So 44-31. Centaurs looking to get out and create some havoc a little bit in passing lanes. Timeout St. Anthony as Coach Satterley seeing maybe a little bit of a change in defense for Brooklyn Center. Wants to make sure his guys know what they want to do to attack that.
Well, BC is now switched to man-to-man, and they have their big lineup in. So now he's got to make some adjustments. Instead of running perimeter style of offense, maybe he's going to really look to take advantage of his bigs. Go to, that big-to-big pass has been working. So maybe he's going to make some adjustments there and get the players in the mindset to execute against man-to-man defense.
St. Anthony at halftime was up by 12. The lead right now at 13, 44-31, as each team has 3 field goals in the second half. The difference, one of St. Anthony's was a 3-pointer. Again, Brooklyn Center coming in looking for their first win of the season, 0-10 so far. They've played pretty tough when they played St. Anthony at St. Anthony, ended up losing by 10, which has been really one of their probably better results of the season. Obviously, they haven't had a lot of success to hang their hat on overall in wins losses, obviously, but you're glad to see teams wanting to keep fighting and not giving up, because they know for the year, obviously for Wayhe, he's a senior, but for the other guys, it's kind of a building year, and they know that you can set some groundwork for good things to come if you do the right things this year.
Yeah, the motto for Coach Gilbert is let's prove people wrong. And so during the beginning of when we spoke with the coach, and we were just doing small interviews, he brought over one of his former players, as we see Hauser. Who is that? Hauser knocking down another three. He brought over one of his players who plays on the JV. He has 2 fingers, 2 toes. He said, what is our motto here? The kid said, prove everybody wrong. So this is what Coach Gilbert is standing on. Looking to come in here in his first year, try to turn this program around, but really invest in these kids.
Wayhe with a nice drive and finish. And let's see, we will get a foul as Carpenter started to try and drive that ball. The game has been called pretty tight here tonight, and I think every once in a while the players are kind of looking around like, really, that was a foul? But no, great drive by Wayhe. That was pretty.
Oh, clean game. Players playing hard, respecting the culture of the game, and just doing a fine job so far.
Omot with it on the baseline, returning that one to the inbound passer, and then saved out of bounds as Rodkowicz was underneath, and he realized there wasn't much good going to happen there, so he just threw it off a centaur foot. Rodkowicz will come in again to Omot. They swing it around. Omot a little high post. Stevens in even a little closer, and he scores.
Hey, Jay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, okay? Omot and Stevens doing a really good job making each other look good.
Wayhe thought he got fouled there, but doesn't get the call as he drove it in. Omot attacking and finishing.
This is this point where Coach Gilbert talks about, are the players going to submit? The lead is now grown, and so he's trying to make sure that his players don't quit on him. That's the hardest part, that once the players see the lead start to grow and grow, they have a tendency to want to quit. But give credit to the Huskies. They are forcing their idea, their principles on this game, and they're just executing well.
Got a really busy week here on CCX as we try and fit in as many games as we can in this late starting winter season. We got a really good girls hockey matchup Tuesday night as Breck, Class A powerhouse, takes on Benilde, and then some gymnastics on Wednesday as Rogers is at Champlain Park. Ariel and Ellie and I will be at Osseo on Thursday night for Maple Grove Osseo boys basketball, and then some wrestling action over at Armstrong as they host Park Center and Cooper on Friday evening in a tri-meet. And the tough part about this last sequence too, I think, is Brooklyn Center really upped the defensive pressure. And when you go out hard and you're working hard and you're hoping to get a steal and instead you give up a layup, I mean, that kind of is deflating a little bit. I think that's why Coach probably used that timeout there too.
And with a young team like that, you got to make sure that you check it at the moment so that they understand, so you can build off of it. Because part of their idea is that we're going to grow from this, but we still got to take our lumps. So good timeout by Coach Gilbert. Coach Gilbert during his timeout, yeah, there's some X's and O's, but he's a guy who talks about life. He'll use the score, and he'll bring in life principles so that these young players can understand how to be successful.
Even though St. Anthony beat it, I feel like that was a good move to go to a little bit of trapping pressure for Brooklyn Center to try and speed things up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And you know the old saying, risk it or biscuit. You got to give up something to get something. So maybe trying to trap, maybe some people would say no, but you got to take a chance so you can get some steals.
Douglas maybe forced one up a little bit there, and it was good defense, left it short. Omot at that high post again. Baseline drive and dish. Omot missed it. His tip won't go. And then he is fouled as they tried to tie him up.
It's good basket cut by the big fella there, though.
White will pick up his 4th foul for Brooklyn Center. Omot trying to dump that one in. Stevens has to save it. And it's going to come all the way over. Brooklyn Center missed a chance to come up with that turnover. In and out on the 3 there for Hauser. Douglas pushing it back the other way, left it short. Douglas got it back briefly, but then knocked away. Omot will swing it to the corner, and now Stevens flashing free. Back out, Hauser traveled, yep.
Stevens missed Omot cutting there. Pass it outside to Hauser for that three-point shot. And he's a hot man, so I get it. I get the read. But at the same time, the big fella was cutting.
Kinney will inbound here for Brooklyn Center. As a couple of subs coming in, guys who played in the first half. Abraham and Waddy will come in now for St. Anthony. Their lead is at 18. Still a lot of time to go. A little over 12 minutes. And you see Albertson back in for Brooklyn Center.
What we haven't seen from the Centaurs is full court pressure yet, so that kind of waiting on to see if that was going to come.
Albertson turns and fires, no good. He did make 1 3 in the first half, but also had a couple of misses. Abraham down the baseline, nice dish. Omot over to Stevens. There's some great passing there for the Huskies.
And you gotta like that film if your coaches of St. Anthony, when they watch the film, just to see bigs playing together and just creating easy shots. I mean, let's just look at the guards. They're not even worried.
In and out there for Douglas, and Omot grabs the rebound. So St. Anthony has kind of seized control of this one, up by 20. Omot's going to step into a 3, and that one, heat check there. And he said, well, we love that last pass, and you've been doing a lot of great things, maybe not on that one.
But if you're the coach, you got to go, okay, big fella, you've been playing the right way the entire game. I'll let you put one up for the outside.
And he did make a 3 earlier, too. It's not that he can't, obviously, but. Wayhe the drive, but then lost it to Waddy. Waddy's all alone for now. He's going to back it out of there. Nice catch by Abraham. Pass was kind of behind it, but then he had it slip out of his hands. And, I thought it looked like it was off St. Anthony. It looks like it's going to be their ball, though. Apparently BC touched it. Oh, they missed Omot flashing free there. And Douglas up with the rebound now for Brooklyn Center. Douglas on the drive, hanging, no good, got it back, and yes, and a foul. Quay Douglas, it actually turned out better that he missed the first one, because now they'll have a chance for an and one.
Yeah, he's going to look to push the envelope a little bit here and really attack. You know, he tried to play the right way early in the first half. Ball movement, he didn't force anything, kind of let the game come to him. And now with this lead, you know, that the Huskies have, he's going to have to look to be a little bit more aggressive and initiate some scoring opportunities.
Yeah, he's got 3 buckets here in the second half, and there's a steal by Douglas. Little Euro step there, but it just wouldn't drop. Huskies coming back the other way. I think a smart decision there to kind of pull it out and get set. Omot will shoot it from the corner, and that's good for 3. See, he can make 3s. Just had one that was a little off target.
You could see it from here. I saw that elbow get right underneath that ball. I mean, that ball was sitting on that saucer, man. You could tell that was going in when he let it go.
56-35. Wayhe a step back, and that is good. Wayhe burying the 3. He now has 14.
BC looking to do some full court run and jump, try to force some turnovers here.
And Waddy unable to hit that one. Wayhe slashing and was fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. It's going to be on Abraham, and Wayhe will head to the free throw line here.
Probably for the rest of the way, Wayhe and Douglas will be really looking to attack as soon as they get in primary transition. They're going to, you know, not to slow down the ball. They're going to look to try to get layups.
See Hauser coming back in after a little bit of rest.
Get another ball handler on the floor against that pressure. It's going to create some more scoring opportunities, some open three-point shots as well.
Second one also good for Wayhe. Abraham turns, looks, fires, and knocks down a three. And that kind of sums up the way the game is going here lately.
Right. I mean, you make every effort, every defensive slide, and then all of a sudden someone just knocks down an open shot.
Douglas missed it, but he gets it back, and he'll have another chance for a three-point play as he goes to the offensive glass and finishes through the contact. Now, he hasn't been shooting free throws especially well, but Omot will pick up the foul.
You know, in his class of 2023, I mean, there's probably no more of a better athlete, okay? This kid, been watching him for years, just very athletic, very explosive, just relentless on the offensive rebound, defensive rebound, just plays hard. So that's more of his style of play. He'll shoot it, he'll go, over 6'6" guys, he'll go rebound and put it back. So let's see if he can try to manufacture something in these last 9 minutes.
Stevens back in. That was the third foul on Omot, so he's going to get a little bit of a break. You see, the Centaurs have definitely changed to really getting after things defensively, trying to speed the Huskies up. Stevens, the rebound. They tried to shovel it back to him, but Albertson got his hands in there. And then there's a foul on Hauser on the reach-in.
That was a very smart foul by Hauser, because Quay Douglas, the last 4 or 5 possessions, been taking it coast to coast, has gotten himself in the game. So that was a very smart foul there, because that could have been an easy 2 points, and then instead of being a 16-point lead, you're at 14.
Timeout taken by St. Anthony. Even though their lead is still pretty nice, you can kind of sense that the game is changing and Brooklyn Center is creating a little havoc. And some of these, even though some of them aren't really bad shots for St. Anthony, they're shooting it quick. And it's a fine line there. Obviously, if they go in, you say, okay, that was good. But if not, you kind of play into Brooklyn Center's hands to try and get more possessions and get up and down a little bit and see if they can't trim the lead.
Well, when you play that run and jump defense, it's very difficult for teams to run structured offense. And so St. Anthony, they do well in a structured offense. But now with BC playing this run and jump, it's going to force some people to do different things that they're uncomfortable with. If you're St. Anthony, let's be a little bit less three-point shot oriented. Let's re-attack that paint. Maybe we get a layup, or we get a dish for a layup, or a foul and an opportunity for free throws.
Yeah, for the most part, they've really handled it well up until these last few minutes, where you can see that the pressure has just kind of gone up a little notch, and they've started to kind of rush a little bit and maybe not always make the right pass like they had been doing.
And then when you see a lead, all of a sudden that open three-point shot really becomes something you want to do. So, good time out there to kind of get the players refocused for the understanding of having a 16-point lead. Doesn't mean we start shooting threes. It means that we continue to be aggressive attacking that basket.
Yeah, and the other part of it for St. Anthony is you don't want your kids to be too hesitant either. Like, okay, we're just going to hold the ball and sit on this lead.
Right.
And sometimes that can happen if you're sort of like protecting a lead rather than staying aggressive. Douglas back out to Wayhe. You can see both of those guys are going into attack mode, and that'll be a hold on Carpenter.
Coach Gilbert had his squad really concentrated and focused on moving the ball and letting it go from one side of the court to the next. But now with this deficit that they're facing, looks like Quay Douglas and Wayhe, they're going to have to try to push it a little bit.
It's already bonus time here, 7th team foul against St. Anthony. So Douglas to the line and he hits. He's kind of had some struggles at the free throw line tonight, but now has made a couple in a row here. And they're to within 15. Short on the second one. So it stays 59-44. Back out to Hauser. Centaurs. And that ball tipped and knocked free, and they'll get the turnover. Wayhe leaving it ahead. Albertson for Douglas. Layup is good.
Here goes BC with that full court pressure. Making St. Anthony a little indecisive as they move the ball.
Cross court to Abraham. He'll shoot the three. No good. Taylor out of there with it. Centaurs on the move. Wayhe, no good, but he was fouled.
Now, Jay, if he makes that, their whole bench would erupt because he'd have the opportunity to cut it to 10. But, you know, here's BC not giving up. Coach Gilbert talked about the fact that, yeah, my team might get down, but we're young enough and we have enough energy and enough passion. We will fight to the end. So don't look for the Centaurs to back down and pack it on in. They're looking like they still think they got a chance.
Wayhe to the line and missing on the free throw. He had been 4 for 4. And the other thing, too, is when you're able to get points with the clock stopped here, if you're able to make your free throws consistently, which they've kind of been a little hit and miss on, but you get a chance to kind of chip into that lead with the clock still. Gets 1 out of 2. So 59-47, this one is far from over. St. Anthony had a 20-point lead not too long ago, but now it's sitting at 12. And there's a steal by Wayhe. Wayhe will go all the way for the layup.
Now we're down to 10, Jay. And this is how it happens. A little full court pressure, run and jump. Now you can't run offense.
Another timeout used by St. Anthony. You can really see them starting to feel the pressure a little bit as their lead has been trimmed to 10, and here come the Centaurs.
Good dribble drive there, but, you know, the Centaurs do, for years, they've been really good at, on the defensive end, and digging and getting steals. I mean, they're just, you know, like, they just get in your skin and your nerves. You think you got an easy layup, and then all of a sudden someone comes out of nowhere and just gets your money. As we see Wayhe take it all the way coast to coast for a layup. So I guarantee you they're not going to let up on that. They figured out that they have something here, and so let's see if Coach Satterley can make an adjustment.
Yeah, when it got to be 20, it was starting to feel like, maybe it's just not going to happen. Right. But the game has really taken a turn in the last 4 minutes or so. And yes, St. Anthony's still up by 10, but I think it's fair to say that the momentum is with Coach Gilbert's team right now.
It is. They're on like a 13-3 run here. And so I was just sitting there counting, and I was like, man, if St. Anthony doesn't make an adjustment here, they haven't been able to get the bigs involved. And normally, you know, when you're doing run and jump and then you're, you know, beating that front line and you're attacking, usually it's that big who's always open on the trail. So let's see if St. Anthony can find him. Now they got their big line up in here, so they should be able to get some easier looks.
Rodkowicz inbounding here, gets it across to Hauser. They work it up the sideline and go into Stevens, turns back to the left hand and scores.
There it is. It's that simple. It's that simple. Your big man, get one at the high post, one at the low post, really commanding that block. There's just no stopping it.
Back out. Douglas lining up a 3 in and out there, and Stevens up for the board. Rodkowicz walking it up here. Omot will kick it back out. I don't think they're going to be in any hurry to shoot. If they're not facing any pressure, they'll just try to use a little clock here.
Yeah, but you see, you want to be careful here because now you're playing not to lose. And so all of a sudden a steal here in a layup, players get uptight. So got to be careful with that.
Stevens back out, pass tipped and stolen. Here's Douglas. Douglas down the middle, it was fouled, offensive foul. Omot trying to take the charge, and it apparently did. I thought this one looked like it might have been a defensive foul there.
Oh, Jay. Coach Gilbert, he's not going to be happy with that call.
$12-point lead for the Huskies. Shovel down low towards Stevens. Another steal. Douglas out of there with it. Douglas will pull up, and he hits.
Now we're at 9.
A 3-pointer.
Yep. And this is how it happens. Playing not to lose. The Huskies, they must attack. They must attack.
Tried to go to Stevens, and he didn't make the catch before he turned to go up. The lead is cut down to 9, and they're again feeling the pressure. Another look. There's a defender that comes in from behind. I thought was really going to bother this shot, but he makes it anyway.
But, you know, he didn't know he was there, so he had a clear conscience.
Albertson is short. Douglas rebounded and out of bounds, or was it a double dribble? Either way, it's a turnover, and it'll be St. Anthony ball there.
You know, we talked about Brooklyn Center's foul troubles in the first half. So far in this second half, not an issue.
Omot is hemmed in, had it taken away. Douglas. Up and in. Quay Douglas is on fire now, and it's a 7-point game.
This is his game. Full court, up and down. When he's attacking you and he's downhill with his athleticism, you better watch out.
And the Huskies, again, that fine line of they've been wanting to use clock, and now they need to go back and attack.
Yeah, they have to. They should just be running a normal man-to-man offense, because this stall, Brooklyn Center, they're going to get their hands on something.
And if there were 2 minutes to go instead of 4.5, it might be a little bit different. But back out, Omot passing up a potential shot there.
See, he should be attacking from there. He should be attacking. This stall, all of a sudden someone get it. Okay, we're going to see.
Back out to Hauser. Into the post they go. Stevens short with it, but he got it back himself and scored. 5 buckets in the second half after he had 4 in the first half. That was a big hoop there. They really needed that one. Wayhe thought about the long three. Now back out to Kinney. He will shoot it up, and it is good for 3. First basket tonight for Kinney, and the lead is 6. Still quite a bit of time to go here, too. A little over 3.5 minutes. Omot is all alone, and now goes to Stevens, who is alone. Omot will shoot it up, no good. Douglas was fouled as he came down with that rebound and got hit, and he will go to the line.
What did I tell you about Douglas? In there battling with Stevens and was able to secure that rebound and got fouled. Now, like you said, Jay, clock stopped, but he has an opportunity to get 2 points with the clock not moving.
They left St. Anthony so wide open there that it led them to be indecisive on actually taking a shot. Another look at this. Douglas up in traffic. Nice rebound, and then Hauser came down across him and got his second foul.
And there's Quay Douglas just slowly approaching his season average.
Free throw is good.
Once again, very explosive guard. Even though the record doesn't reflect his ability, you put him on many teams, he's somebody you would hear about.
4-point game. Brooklyn Center trailed by 20 not all that long ago. Now they're within 63-59. Omot cutting, and Wayhe will be called for the foul there. The pass was behind Omot. I think it made it look worse. And that'll be the 4th on Wayhe. Still not in the bonus, though. St. Anthony will inbound on the baseline. Just the 4th team foul. But again, 4 on Wayhe. And they're going to have to give him a little breather. Max Madian will come in.
Coach, he told Coach Gilbert, I'm good. Coach is like, no, you got 4 fouls. Hold on. We're in this. Now he's going back to the scorer's table. I don't like this, Jay. I'm sorry. This stall offense, it just makes it so difficult for you to play effectively. Lucky there.
Underneath, and Omot with the reverse layup. That pass barely got there, didn't it? But it did.
It was coming our way, too.
6-point lead now for the Huskies, and there's a foul.
Yeah.
Definite, obvious push on Carpenter, and I think that'll be his 5th.
Coach Gilbert telling Quay, just put your head down. If you see an angle, get into their body, and let's earn it from the free throw line.
That was the 5th foul on Carpenter, and so Abraham will come in to replace him as Douglas gets set to shoot free throws.
Douglas looking to cut this to 4.
26 now for Douglas, make it 27. 65-60, St. Anthony by 5. So timeout with 2:43 to go. The lead trimmed back to 4 as Centaurs certainly not just making a game of it, but coming back to the point where they could very well win this one.
No, I mean, they're looking like they did in the first 5 minutes of the game, where they were really starting off effectively and really securing that rebound. This run and jump has really gotten maybe the Huskies out of position for that offensive rebound. And so the Centaurs have been lucky enough to get the rebound and get in the fast break. And the style has changed a little bit. Wayhe and Douglas are really looking to attack from initially. You know, they're not waiting and settling. They're looking to attack early.
And I think that change has helped them get into the foul situation that we have too. St. Anthony has picked up 10 here in the second half, in large part because BC has been a lot more aggressive, driving it to the hoop. And the Huskies, the only 4 fouls on BC and no free throw attempts here in the second half so far by St. Anthony, and that kind of just showing the difference in the the attack style versus not attack. And I agree with you that it's always a tough call. The way they took some time off the clock, to me it started too early. That was my issue with it. If it had been 4 minutes ago instead of 9.
Right. Or like now at 2:43, yeah, then we get into that. But at 6-minute mark, it's too early.
Out of bounds as that pass hit Abraham on the chest and then bounced back into Lucas where he had a toe out of bounds. And so they turn it over.
And Jay, normally that's a score. But now with a 4-point lead, not so easy.
Wayhe getting them into their offense, driving down the middle. Offensive foul on Wayhe. And that'll be his 5th. So he will foul out with 19 points. Player control foul, so no free throws there. Or we're not in the bonus yet anyway. That's right. 5th foul on BC. Now they're to the point where they maybe might want to think about taking a foul or two because they need to get them into the bonus. And that'll be a foul on Albertson. Yeah,
they need possession of the ball, so they need to maybe take a risk and foul someone.
Boy, they had Omat surrounded there, and they thought they were going to get a steal, but instead a little bit of foul. But again, not a bad play to take a foul there. Back out to Hauser. Underneath, Abraham flashing free for the layup. Big bucket there. The lead is 6.
This will become the tough part with Wayhe on the bench now. They're just going to rely on Douglas to try to take him home.
Pull-up jumper won't go. Scrap for the rebound, and Abraham got it out of there, and I think he was fouled.
Looks like that's going to be on Douglas.
So now 7th team foul, and Abraham will have to step to the line and see if he can't help them extend this 6-point lead.
Just 2-possession game.
First free throw of the half, and nothing but net for Abraham. 68-61. And he calmly makes a pair. He's played pretty well in the second half. He has 7 points in the half and 10 total. Now the lead is 8, and we get a foul. not going to count the hoop. It was out on the floor as Douglas was putting it on the deck trying to go to the hole. It'll be 2 free throws now coming up. Waddy picks up the foul. Douglas right on target with that free throw. (69-62). And both free throws good. Omot down low. Abraham passed up a possible layup to throw it back out of there. And we get a foul. We get a little bit of a break there. Omot kind of exposed the ball there as he turned into Taylor.
Yep. Sometimes, you know, when you go for a steal, you can be overly aggressive, and I think that's kind of what happened with Taylor. He had his hands there in good position to get that steal, but just maybe a little too demonstrative, forcing the referee to call a foul.
Yeah, and Omot didn't really rip it through as strong as you'd like there. He kind of exposed the ball, but it'll work out as he gets the free throw. And gets the roll on the second one as well. So the Huskies 4 for 4 down the stretch at the line. That'll help their cause. 8-point game. Douglas for 3, no. And minute 15 to go. Not over yet, but the last little stretch has certainly not helped Brooklyn Center's cause as they gave up the 2 free throws and then missed that 3.
Yeah, they don't have to immediately go down and just take the first quick shot. Maybe a pass to the wing and maybe a cut through. You can create some rhythm, some tempo, get guys off balance. That way you can create maybe a lane to drive on. But
Omot not able to get it to go this time. And Centaurs still with an opportunity. Douglas driving it into traffic is foul. Boy, it feels like he can get deep to the hoop almost any time he wants here. It just cannot stay in front of him.
Right. I mean, the way he operates, he kind of reminds you of like a Ja Morant. Like, he's really bouncy. He's light on his feet, and then when he's attacking you and he's coming at you, I mean, very explosive first step. I mean, he's just by you, and then when he gets into the lane, he's going to explode over the top of you. Unique athlete.
I think the Huskies need to meet him sooner, higher out, to make him not go straight line all the way, because once he's got a full head of steam going, you're probably going to foul him.
Right, you got to meet him at half court to stop that momentum, because if you meet him at the three-point line, he's already downhill, and just one bump, he's just going to explode right past you.
Makes a pair at the line, so BC back to within 6, a minute 2 to go. This one has turned into a very entertaining ball game here. You know, considering we had a winless team and a 4-win team coming in, it's turned into a good one.
You know, looking at the scores from the past, I mean, they've always played some pretty competitive games. So this looks like a little bit of a rivalry where each team kind of knows each other. So they make it a game for all of us fans to enjoy.
It's a type of game that'll help Coach Gilbert's young team, too, to have to play through these kind of situations where it's you know, just kind of back and forth where you're trying to catch up and you got to do the right kind of things to get back into it. And you see they've done pretty well at the line and pretty well at getting to the line, too.
There's some good film right here for Coach. If he wants to use it, there's a lot of learning opportunities for his young club, particularly his others, the guys who maybe don't score as much. They can find ways to be more useful to help out, let's say, Wayhe or Douglas.
Unfortunately for the Centaurs, Wayhe has fouled out, so now going to be even more falling on Douglas's shoulders. Not that he's not obviously very capable of kind of taking over, but Huskies basketball in the backcourt. They lead by 6, but they had a 20-point lead. That's definitely gotten nervous. Oh boy, that looked like a double dribble. It's going to be out off St. Anthony anyway.
They got it right.
Lucas was about to pass it, and the guy he was going to throw it to didn't see it and ran away. So he tried to grab it again, but either way, it's a BC ball. 58 to go. This one again, far from over. Inbounded to Albertson. He'll throw it ahead now. They want to look for Douglas, I think. No, Albertson will shoot it up. That's not close and out of bounds. So it'll be St. Anthony basketball. And that'll be a foul as Lucas was bumped there. So he'll go to the free throw line with a 6-point lead. Lucas, 4 points on the night.
Huskies just looking for that clock to move. Even looking at the bench, they're just like, come on, clock, go. The Centaurs hanging in there, playing all the way to the last minute. Or in these cases, the last seconds.
Yeah, the Huskies have to feel like, man, this clock has gone slow down the stretch. Right when it was 20, they thought everything's looking good. And
yep, they thought they were going to have some opportunities to get some of the younger players on the bench playing, but Centaurs hanging in there.
Again, they've been nice at the line, though. Only one miss down the stretch, 6 for 7. And that one won't drop. Omot the rebound. And maybe the Centaurs might be running out of chances late here as Kinney will pick up the foul there. And Hauser will go to the free throw line here.
Hauser kind of quiet in this second half. He was carrying his team early in that late in that first half and really gave him that lead.
Yeah, he hit a 3 right before half that put him up by 12. He does have 1 3-pointer here in the second half and now hits the free throw.
But you know, as a young player, you see your first half, you're like, oh, I got a couple threes going. This second half, I'm going to really do some things. The Centaurs doing a good job controlling him.
Makes a pair, and it's a 10-point game. And there's Douglas, going to be an offensive foul. That's what the Huskies have been trying to do, is just stay in front of him and take a charge, and that time it worked out.
But he's shifty. He's one of those guys. He'll jump in the air, and he'll be moving sideways, things like that. So difficult to defend.
Nice steal by Kinney. And Taylor, no good. And rebounded by St. Anthony, and they are going to hang on. And it's going to turn out to be the same margin as the last time they played. A different kind of game this time around, but it is the Huskies getting the sweep of Brooklyn Center as they will win at 75-65. But I'll tell you what, Brooklyn Center, the way they fought back, there was a time when it looked like, okay, maybe this one's over, but they gave it a heck of a run down the stretch here.
You know, they did. They put their best effort forward. You know, they say that a team mirrors their coach's personality and attitude, and they most certainly did that for Coach Gilbert. They played hard to the end. They never gave up. And they have something to build off of. They didn't have the size of St. Anthony, but St. Anthony does have that quality. They're a good team, and they were just able to get the job done once again.
So the Huskies getting 21 from Omot, 18 from Stevens, and 16 from Hauser on the way to the win here tonight. 32 for Douglas, including 25 in the second half, 19 for Wayhe, as the Centaurs will fall, but they gave it a heck of a battle down the stretch. Your final again in this one tonight, St. Anthony 75, Brooklyn Center 65. Good night from Brooklyn Center High School.